Morning everyone, welcome back to another video. So today, I've been waiting to do this for the last month and a half. I've had this in the shed, but we've had literally nothing but rain and more rain. So finally we've got a couple of days of decent weather, so I've cut the grass. So today I'm going to be testing, upgrading and reviewing the new Lanshan 2026. New colour as well this year, forest green. So this is a 4 season. In the box I've also got last year's Lanshan. That's set up at the moment as a 3 season. I'll show you the difference between the two inners, what's given what season they are. So both of these tents are fantastic hiking tents. You can see the size of them, absolutely tiny, and they weigh just over 1 kilo. I'll put the exact amount in the description or on some of the photos as I do the video. So out of the packet they're great, but there's a few upgrades that can be done on them to make them just that much better, that much easier to pitch. I'm not taking the credit for them, there's loads over YouTube. Yes, but they really make a difference. Now these are a walking pole tent, so they don't have their own poles, so you must take your walking poles with you, which here, and they're absolutely fantastically strong. So whether I'll use them on a mountain in midwinter would probably be a no, but they're definitely a really good for entry-level budget hiking tents. They are known to be one of the best. You know, I think they're only about 150 pound-ish. So yeah, come join me. So there's the two colours. We've got obviously the brown one and the new forest green. We've got a whole box of upgrades. We've got red shock cord, we've got 30 metres of Dyneema. So I'm going to change everything round on them, and I will show you all the different upgrades and how fantastic they look when they're pitched. So come join me. See you soon. One thing you will notice with this year's model, one of the upgrades is the fly material. So the older model uses the sil-nylon and the new ones use this sil-poly. So the beauty of sil-poly is when it gets wet, it doesn't sag. Sil-nylon, it soaks in the water, still remains waterproof, but it goes a bit saggy and you have to retension your tent. But with this sil-poly, apparently it doesn't. So yeah, be interested to see that. Right, so they do supply bits of guy rope and bits and bobs. All this is coming off. I'm doing lots of little changes just to make it much better and much easier to pitch. So one of the first things I'm going to do is, on these Lanshans they have something called a ram's head, which comes down from the guy rope, goes to one peg and then goes back. Don't like that design. This year they are better, they are metal rather than plastic, but I prefer to have 2 separate shock cords. You get a much better fit, and then that way it's separated from the guy rope. As I say, I'm not taking the credit for these upgrades. I've seen many on YouTube, but this is what I'm going to do. So very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off all around the edge, all of these, and I'm going to replace them with shock cord. So I'll start off with the first 4 for the doors. Burn your ends, stop them fraying. just fits. Right, so the reason we're going to do it twice, first of all, just tie a simple knot in one end and then cinch it up nice and tight. That one. And then you've got two lengths then, two choices. You've got this, if you want to have the vegetables up nice and high for plenty of ventilation, or you can just pull that round like that. And then if it's really windy, you've then got the choice of making it much shorter, double the thickness, nice and strong. Okay. So for now, we will just do wax. Okay, one more. Right, so that's the doors done on both sides. So now these are the main guy lines at each end. Now these are okay, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to change them. So what we're going to do is, and as you can see, there's the all metal ram's heads, but I don't like them because then you've got to disconnect to open one door. With this new method, you can open each door in any configuration. It's just much better. So I'm going to out these, and I'm going to change this to 3 meters of Dyneema, and I'm also going to try it, rather than have these little cinch buckle things, I'm going to try these, what they call them, rabbit's ears. Let's give them a whirl. So I've got to cut 2 3-meter ones, and then I'm going to cut 2 2-meter ones for the side guy lines. Right, so this is coming off. Also, we need to make so we've got a toggle here and one here. So we're going to make a loop of Dyneema, like a V, with a ring on. And then that way we can connect the guy rope using a very small carabiner. So here we've got our bunny ears for cinch up the guide ropes. Don't quite know how they work yet, but I'll find out. And we've got some mini carabiners in red. And in here, you can get plastic ones of these, but I've decided to go for stainless. These rings, got my V-bay. I'll set this up. Right, so we've got a short length of Dyneema, 34 inches I'm using. In my little goodie bag, I'm going to take one of these rings. Little stainless steel ring. Put the ring on there like that. That's what we're looking for. Now that's tied on there, we just simply clip a little carabiner on there. That's what we're looking at. We need to do that on both sides. Right, that's the guy ropes done on the fly. So the next bit is the footprint. So I've cut 4 20-inch bits of Dyneema. Got these little cinch glow in the dark things. And what we're going to do on the actual tent where they supply these little bits, we're going to cut them off. You'll see why later, and how much of a better method this is. It means you can literally pitch the tent, you can leave the footprint down, you can change the inner, and everything just clips in with little carabiners. So it's such a much better method. So literally on the tent itself, where they put these will come off, and then when they're off, we replace all 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, with little carabiner. Okay, so now we've got all 4 of these done on the footprint. Okay, so back to the ground sheet of the tent. Every corner, take off the bit of rope and put on a carabiner. And you'll see why this is a better method. Okay, so we now have a carabiner on every one. Then what we're going to do then is we clip the footprint with the carabiners to every corner. Glasses, that's what I'm doing. Like that. Right, so now that's all done, final thing is to make up 4 little ties for tying up the guy ropes nice and neat, so when you unpack the tent, they're not all tangled together. And that's it, literally just like that. So when you fold these up, you've got a nice little cinch to keep them nice and tight and all together. So you've just got to do 4 of them. Literally like that, and that keeps them all nice and tidy. Okay, now all the upgrades are done, we're going to put it up. So it took about 2 hours. Set your poles to 120. Find the bottom of the tent, which is your footprint, which is now connected to the tent. is I had these little small poles made, and the reason for that is rather than pulling this down, it pulls out and gives you nicer headroom. As you go around there, like so. So get it ready. Premium shock cord. So on the new ones, they've done away with the fly, the rain flap, and these are the new YKK zippers. So these are a waterproof zipper. That's an upgrade for 2026. Mini. The beauty of doing it this way, you can unhook. Okay, slight change, I've got something wrong. So when we tie these little guy ropes here, we tie them onto the shock cord, and then the inner clips go into there. Okay, so this is the Lanshan 2 2026 with all these nice little upgrades, all now Dyneema, bunny ears, my little poles, outriggers to get the head end out a bit more. See how these all cinch up, absolutely fantastic. You see all that works then. Here's our holding the guy ropes, there's our metal ring, bunny ears. You see how well it goes up, and our solid is literally rock solid. So the new material, fly material, is now sil-nylon rather than, sorry, it's now sil-poly rather than sil-nylon like the older ones. So this shouldn't soak in and sag. These are a bit different. And obviously inside, this is the 4-season inner. The 3-season inner is all mesh, which I'll show you on the other one. Oh yeah. There she is. The Lanshan 2 2026 in forest green. The new YKK zippers. See how nice the vegetables are. Beautiful. Right, I'll get the other one up. So I hope you enjoyed the review of both the lanshan tents. Last year's model in the sand colour, this year's model in the forest green. With all the upgrades I've done, makes them a really, really versatile tent, and they're really light. They're just over 1 kilo. So you still got to, must remember they're a walking pole tent, so you've got to carry your walking poles. And these little poles I had made just pulls the headroom and feet room out just that little bit more to make it more comfortable inside. They're a 2-man tent, but for one person, there's loads of room. Absolutely ideal. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. See you on another one. I'll leave you with some images of some of the upgrades I've done.